So let's discuss the shamanic view of mental illness. This article that I'm about to read, I've shared it already in my channel in a different way. And I'm going to read a little bit and talk a little bit about my experience coming across what Dr. Malidoma Somé has interpreted here for us in the Black community. So it goes as follows. In the shamanic view, mental illness signals the birth of a healer, explains Malidoma Somé. Thus, mental disorders are spiritual emergencies, spiritual crises, and need to be regarded as such to aid the healer in being born. Those in the West view as mental illness, the Dagara people regard as good news from the other world. The person going through the crisis has been chosen as a medium for a message to the community that needs to be communicated from the spirit realm, Dr. Somé comments. Mental disorders, behavioral disorders of all kinds signal the fact that two obviously incompatible energies have merged into the same field. These disturbances result when the person does not get assistance in dealing with the presence of the energy from the spirit realm. One of the things Dr. Somé encountered when he first came to the United States in 1980 was how this country deals with mental illness. He was so shocked that it was the first time that he's brought face to face with the same symptoms that he's seen in the village. What got his attention, but the symptoms are based on a pathology, the idea that the condition is something that needs to stop. This was in complete opposition to the way his culture views such situations. As he looked around the stark ward at the patients, some in straitjackets, some were zoned out and medicated, others screaming. He said, so this is how the healers who are attempting to be born are treated in this culture. What a loss. What a loss that a person who's finally being aligned with the power from the other world is just being wasted. More often than not, the knowledge and skills that arise from this kind of merger are a knowledge or a skill that is provided directly from the other world. In the Dagara tradition, the community helps the person reconcile energies of both worlds, the world of the spirit that he or she is merged with and the village and the community. That person is able and then to serve as a bridge between the worlds and help the living with the information and healing they need. Thus, the spiritual crisis ends with the birth of another healer. The other world's relationship with our world is one of sponsorship. The spirits are drawn to people whose senses have not been anesthetized. The sensitivity is pretty much need and read as an invitation to come in. Those who develop so-called mental disorders are those who are sensitive, which is viewed in Western culture as oversensitivity. Indigenous cultures don't see it that way, and as a result, sensitive people don't experience themselves as overly sensitive. In the West, it is the overload of the culture therein that is just wrecking them, observes Dr. Somé. The frenetic pace, the bombardment of senses, and the violent energy that characterizes Western culture can overwhelm sensitive people. This is where I'm going to pause because I'm going to read the second part where he describes schizophrenia in the context of tradition versus the context of the West. What I love about this article is because, once again, when you come into the world with observations and knowings and feeling that something is amiss amongst our people and their behaviors, and you see the commonalities in the behaviors of the people who are labeled disordered, I'm the kind of person that is very interested in what is in the unseen and what people don't want to talk about. And when a person says, don't look at that, don't go here, leave those kinds of people alone. I'm very interested to know the story about those people. And so for me, it is a beautiful thing to align to the knowledge of Dr. Malidoma Somé. Because for those that need the backative of certification, therein lies a person, a human being that is in touch with his spirituality, in touch with his tradition and his culture and his people and his community, as well as he's in touch with the mainstream. Dr. Malidoma Somé's name means one who's supposed to make friends with the stranger, the enemy. And so his given name, his purpose in life is to bring knowledge of his people into the Western world of those that don't understand his people in order to bridge the gap, such as a mediator, such as a counselor. How intrinsic is that to the life of an empath, one that is awakened and knows self and knows that purpose as an empath versus being disordered and mislabeled and misnomered is one to surpass the fears, be open to their tradition, come home to their nature, utilize their nature to work and function with their being and those in the collective, working with the collective to be the fullest expression of who they are. So these are examples of the misunderstandings that are dangerous, that are put upon our people. And only if we were to embrace who we are intrinsically, imagine what healing could come about. So if there's anything that I've said here that resounds, I welcome you to subscribe, like, and share, and comment. And as they say, hit that notification bell so we can stay connected and know what's the next evolution in our dialogue. It's a tremendous pleasure that I'm having to connect with you all powerful beings. Black people, remember, embrace your roots. Your roots have the power to heal you. Ashe.